folks, it is Friday Night Blitz Media Days. We're getting you ready for the 2023 season. And, of course, we're going to shine the spotlight on the Martinsville Bulldogs. Of course, they have a first-year head coach. His name is Coach Joe Fielder. And, Coach Fielder, first of all, thank you for being on
thanks for having
Media
me.
Days.
Appreciate it.
Of course, last year you were the head coach at Chatham.
Right.
So you had a good run there. But, just talk a little bit about, looking at your background. Chatham head coach last year, you were a Northside and Ferrum grad, defensive coordinator at Magna Vista, and you won state titles there in 2014, 2015. So obviously, you're very familiar with this part of the state, where all your rivals are, but just the thoughts about getting this opportunity to coach at Martinsville, the head coach.
Being at Magna Vista for, 14 years, it was, we're familiar with them, obviously. Played him for a long time, had some battles against him. And of course, being from Roanoke, you always heard about Martinsville, the tradition there. It's a good program. And of course, they've had success last year. And so we got to try to match that as a first year guy coming in late. But it's just it's a good program, very high standards. I'm excited about it. The kids are great. The transition's it's been a little late, but they've been great. They've worked hard. I'm excited about it. I'm glad to be there.
Just talk about handling it. You mentioned it was a late transition because obviously Coach Martin took a job down in North Carolina.
Right.
But the thing is, when you're coming in at this point, it can go one or two ways. How you feel it's going overall?
It's very smooth. So the staff, I knew those guys beforehand, most of them. Brought back some familiar faces in the program. I've relied a lot on my staff to kind of get me to help learn the kids and kind of their abilities and names. Of course, learning names is always a challenge too. So. But here about 4 weeks in, we've gotten there. But the kids have been very responsive. I don't know them personally, but they kind of knew who I was at Magna Vista. We played them last year at Chatham, so they kind of saw it up front. And they've been great. They bought in from day one, so it's been awesome.
When you look at your program as a whole, obviously Coach Martin, because Martinville had some lean years, and then Coach Martin came and kind of got them back. And the last 2 years they've made the playoffs. Right. They've won a playoff game each year, the last 2 years. So I guess how big is it to have, now there's players on this team, they know what the expectations is, the history of Martinsville, but there's been some recent success.
Right. They've kind of seen it in the senior class. They've seen it go from 0-10 a few years ago to not having a season at all, and then the build up from that, they've kind of seen how it gradually takes place. And that's what I told the guys day one. You've seen it, what it looks like. There's no reason to take a step back. And then we're going to be pretty young this year, overall, but there's a good core back that helps. And I think it's kind of worked out that, I've got a background where at Magna Vista we won a lot. When I was at Northside as a player, we won a lot there. So, that kind of helps as well. Having that with me helps, that transition. But they've got it. Those coaches have them working. Those coaches have them in shape. The good thing is they didn't stop working out when I took over. They kept going through the transition from Coach Martin to me, so there was no layover. So they're not really out of shape in that aspect of it. So it's been good. And like I said, the standard is there. And not just on the field standard, it's the off the field standard is there. And Coach Martin, we kind of agree on those same terms of that, how that goes. So that makes it easier as well. So that makes it, if you go into a program and they're kind of down there, the opposite of that, it's a lot more challenges. Being this late in the game, it's made that transition a lot easier.
So, Coach, when you look at, you talk about, you got some core players. Who are some of the guys we should have our eyes on, the spotlight players on your team?
We got, Marcus, quarterback. He's a first-year quarterback now with us. He's back. Trevion Gravely, he's a very good defensive player for us. He's kind of a guy who can move all over the field. Latrell, he's a running back for us. He played a lot last year. And then you've got just a kind of a group by committee there coming up. A lot of good young talents probably hadn't been seen yet. I did see some of those guys on the JV team last year when they played at Chatham, and I was impressed then with them, to be honest with you. But it's just a good core group. There's not really a specific standout right now that I would say of, but as a group, they're really good together.
So, Coach Fielder, overall, you've seen your fair share of Friday nights as a player, as a coach. But for you personally, what does Friday nights in the fall mean to you, sir?
It's just the excitement, and you go somewhere that, like a Martinsville, like a Magna Vista, even the north side I was growing up, that community that comes together for it. It's a community thing. It's a buildup of it. When you play your rivals, you got one part of the community versus another, and it just means something. I hear a lot of guys as I've gone through that have played high school ball at good programs, and they go to college at the Division III level, especially like Ferrum, not knocking the Division III level, it's a great level, but when you go to college, whether it's Division III, Division I, whatever, you're with a bunch of new people. As you play at high school, you've grown up with those people, and rec league, middle school league, all that stuff, and you kind of know the coaches growing up. So it's just a different vibe. It's a different feel, and it's exciting. Like I said, when you've got it rolling, it's a lot of fun. And a place like Martinsville, when I was at Magna Vista, if you're not rolling, they're gonna let you know it's not good either. So it's good. That's a good part of it, though.
What are some of the things, obviously, Coach Favero, a big influence on you and, several others, but you spent a lot of time, like I said, you were there for, a long time, 14 seasons,
years,
and having all that success. But what did he mean to you in your growth as a coach?
We're still really good friends and talk to him quite a bit, actually. Obviously, as a football mind, he's a great coach. I've learned, his style's a lot different. I played for Coach Hickam, and he's old school, kind of, a hammer, hard-nosed guy. Not that Favrero's not a disciplinarian guy, but he's just more of a laid-back kind of guy. But just that, you kind of can learn how to mesh those things together. And he's from the area. He knows how to coach the kids in the area, and I kind of saw that firsthand there. But there's a lot of off-the-field stuff that goes in with him. He's got his wife and his family that he really puts first over everything. He still coaches hard. He makes it work with that balance between coaching and having a family. And I kind of learned a lot of that from him. I know, we've learned to be efficient versus working all these long hours, and it's paid off. So that was one of the things I can say from him. But just the preparation, he knew I want to be a head coach at some point, and he always helped me with that. He gave me a chance as a fresh out of college coach, and then he gave me a chance as a coordinator, when I was still pretty young. So it means a lot, and of course now we're rivals against each other, so that'll be fun. But it'll be a good time.
And obviously, we would be remiss, you kind of mentioned him, but Coach Jim Hickam, you played for him.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
old school, a legendary coach around these parts. What did he mean to you overall?
He was just, more of a father figure type. I think it's what a lot of coaches have become nowadays. It seems like more of a father figure type. But, you had that respect for him. You wanted to not let him down. You want to work hard for him. And you knew when you messed up that you let him down for sure. And of course, they'd also get into you pretty good too. But it just had that respect. It was just kind of built in. And he's a Roanoke, or he's a Northside for a long time. So growing up in Roanoke, you knew about him. Like I said earlier, you kind of learn who these coaches are. But then when you get there, you start playing for him. It's a little different. But I haven't seen him in a long time. I know when he was at Ferrum. When I was at Ferrum, he came there and the last couple of years. So it was, I talked to him a lot then. But hopefully he carried on through what he was doing with a lot of defensive stuff and good physical football, weight room, all that stuff kind of working together. So it's important to me, and hopefully he's looking at it now and he's proud and excited. But like I said, I hadn't talked to him in a while. I hope to talk to him soon.
Yeah, and he's impacted a lot of guys. His
yeah.
coaching tree is real long. You're part of it. And then when you look at your schedule, Coach, it's there's no ham and eggers on it. You start off at home with Patrick County, then you're at home again to Gretna, 2 road games at Chatham. So I'm sure that'll be looked upon. You're going to go against your former team.
That'll be interesting for sure. Obviously you're going to want to beat them because trying to win every game at Martinsville, but it'll be some emotional attachment to it. That one, and Magna Vista as well, with the fact of being there and knowing them. But
and then, of course, after that, you got Dan River, Mecklenburg County. You're at Tunstall. You host George Washington at Magna Vista, because you mentioned that before. A lot of closeness there. You have a bye, so your bye's later year. Then you host Bassett. You end at Halifax. Just your thoughts about where your bye is, because your bye is at the end of the year. I know a lot of the coaches I've talked to, they would love to have that bye somewhere in the middle of the season. Some have it in their first week. Some have it their last week. Some have it their second week. So just your thoughts about where the bye is in the schedule in general, like we mentioned.
I'm glad it's not the very first week or the very last week. That makes a difference. I've kind of had them all over the place, middle of the year. Last year at Chatham we had it week 3. Wasn't a terrible time to have it either. But the good thing is if we better be a playoff team, hopefully. But getting ready to go in the playoffs, hopefully we're still fresh, but we get a chance to take a little break there and have some time off to going into that. But the schedule it's loaded. It's a hammer. You've got your 2A schools in that, like us, and they're all really good. And then you got the Piedmont District, which is more bigger schools, and everybody's got a good established program in that. So there's no weeks off. But it helps us out. We get a lot of power points in that for the playoffs, which is good in our region, which is tough anyway. And then, you've got to be tough because, like I said, everybody's bigger. So we've got to get through that for sure.
Good deal. Well, Coach Joe Fielder, of course, you're the man, sir. Thanks so
Thank you.
much.
I
And
appreciate it.
congratulations. Good luck with Martinsville this year.
Thank you so much.
And, of course, the Martinsville Bulldogs, they open up the season on August 25th. They take on Patrick County in that big matchup right then and there. Of course, the Friday Night Blitz Media Days rolling on. We're getting you ready for the 2023 season.
Some serious building blocks right now, but it seems like this year y'all ready to make some noise, right?
Yes, sir. We got new coaching, got a new coach. I feel like we're going to be doing good this year. It's real cool.
Talk to me a little bit about your new head coach. I mean, how's that been going so far?
And me and building the bond as it goes away.
And, talk to me a little bit about this team. I mean, there's a brotherhood that you can definitely see on the field when we go and see you guys.
Yeah, we just been playing for a little minute. We've been playing together since like 8th grade, staying together.
And, talk to me, what does it mean to you when you put that Martinsville Bulldogs jersey on?
It means a lot. My dad played for the Martinsville Bulldogs. It's a lot.
What's it like kind of, representing that legacy and kind of blazing your own path at the same time? Is it hard?
Yes, sir.
How hard is it?
Shoot, hard enough. Got to hear his mouth every day.
But is it pretty cool that the fact that legacy's kind of there and that, you're a part of something pretty special?
Yes, sir.
And, this is very much so. In Martinsville, there's a family vibe that y'all have, too.
Yes, sir.
How does that brotherhood and that family translate into how you guys play on the field? And you can take your time, because we can edit this and you can restart it. So don't feel like you have to, put it together.
So, oh no. It's just like, what's the question again? Let me
How
think
do you
about
feel
it.
like this family and this brotherhood kind of plays out on the field?
Oh, it's just like we connect as one, and we just play off that. We just feed off each other's energy.
And, talk to me, I know last season, like I said, building blocks, you're trying to get to where you need to be, or back where this program knows it should be, correct? How do you kind of use some of the lessons you learned last year and apply them in this season?
Something like, just repeat the process.
Cool beans. And I guess in terms of, what are some of the things you're looking forward to this season?
A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
And I guess, in terms of the guys that you do have and some of the young guns that you have on the team, I mean, you want to senior leaders on the squad, right? How do you kind of, coach some of those younger guys up to try to get on your level?
Be a leader. Help them out. Give them some advice when needed.
What does it mean how do you lead, I guess?
Lead by example. Do what coaches ask. Do what they tell me to do. Hard work.
Cool beans. And, what are some of the things that, coach is telling you? And what are some of the things he's looking at you to do to kind of help this team out?
Especially go back to what I said before, like lead by example, work hard, do what's asked.
Do you guys have like maybe a motto this year that you guys are going there? I mean, we've heard, some guys are saying, for their squads, be a man or grit or grind or something like that. I mean, is that what's your coach's philosophy, I guess?
I don't think we got one yet, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna come up with one.
I like that. And I guess, how excited, I mean, just a couple, about, a month and some change. Y'all gonna be out there putting on some pads. How excited are you to be going out there and just hitting?
It's thrilling. Sure, look fun. It's fun.
And Martinsville is such a kind of like storied program. There's a lot of history in it. Kind of like the legacy deal, you get to be part of something big. What is that like? I'm so curious about that.
Just being a part of something bigger. It's awesome.
Cool beans. Well, you got anything else for me? Cool beans. Oh, I do have one quick question. So, who really got you into football?
My dad.
And, talk to me in terms of what did, I guess, growing up, what age did you kind of start playing?
Like 4.
Is it pretty wild to see, the kind of transformation and how you've grown over so many years into the player that you become right now? Do you ever kind of look back and say, man, this is kind of wild?
Yes, sir. We look back all the time. Yeah, I look at my little brother. He be doing the stuff I do when I was little. So
What does your little brother mean to you?
a lot. Try to teach him a lot of stuff.
Cool. Means we got anything else? Well, you don't talk to me. You're gonna be a senior.
Yeah.
How wild is that? That you kind of hear. What's that like?
Like here?
No, how wild is it just the fact that you're gonna start your senior year? You're gonna play your last first game. Is that kind of wild? Just to think about.
A little bit. I'm ready though.
You ready to get it over with, though?
Nah, I'm ready to put some pads on.
And talk to me. What is it about this team that you love so much?
We just stick together. We had the foundation. We was one way, so we just gonna keep it that way.
And I mean, I know you guys have gone through some coaching changes and stuff like that, but what is your new head coach kind of telling you guys about? Like, what is his kind of like coaching philosophy or something like that? To kind of get you guys on the same page.
Stay as a team and do how we been doing. We stay one way. Just,
Like, kind of like that. Okay, I got you. And like, tell me, this brotherhood of y'all's, it runs really deep. Talk to me a little bit about it, and what does this brotherhood mean to you?
well, when you like stay with a group of people for a long period of time, and y'all got the same mindset and same goal, it just y'all just run as one. Y'all got the same beliefs. It's just y'all as a team.
And I mean, you guys had some building blocks last year. You guys were trying to kind of write the course, right? You know what I mean? How do you build upon the stuff that you did last year and bring it into this season?
Well, the people that's returning, we got to step up and show the younger people how to move, how the same way the seniors showed us last year.
And how big of an impact did those seniors last year have on you personally?
Me personally, they showed me how to like work as a team, and actually put trust in other people. Cause if I got my trust in you, then you can trust me, and everybody play their part.
And Martinsville football, there's a lot of history there.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to kind of put this program back to where you know where it needs to be, and where you want it to be?
It mean a lot because last year was one of our biggest seasons. So just to see all the fans come out and all the older people have excitement and be just happy to see us, it really like impacts you.
What kind of impact did it have on you?
It's like it make you want to be better. When you got people looking at you and seeing you like as a certain way, it makes you want to put your all into something just to make them proud.
And I guess, how much fun are you also looking to have this year? I mean, I know you ready to go out there. You already said you ready to just knock somebody out. So like, what was your position again, if you don't mind saying?
I was outside linebacker.
Yeah, So I mean, your position is
Yeah.
pretty much about running around doing what you got to do. But how exciting is it going to be when you kind of finally get to go out there and see what you guys have, especially under your new head coach?
I feel like it's just a lot to work right now. So like once we keep putting our foot on the pedal and we just keep working in one motion, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Awesome. You talk to me. What is it about this game that you love so much?
I love how we can just stick together. Cause like to see where you start off and end, it's just a lot, and it just make you feel good.
And what does it mean to you when you put that Martinsville jersey on?
It's like, I'm trying to see. It's not like a uniform. It's like inside. Like you just feel it. It just feel good.
I like that. You're the first person that said that. I like that. And who got you into football?
Say my uncle. He meant a lot.
What does it mean to you?
He is football. So like when I'm playing, it just bring back a bunch of memories and stuff. So I just keep going.
You go to Martinsville? And I mean, the fact that this legacy you're part of that legacy. What does that mean to you to kind of hold up that mantle?
Try not to think about it too much. Just try to so it don't mess with your head. Just try your hardest, give it your all, so you can have your own legacy.
How proud are you to be a Bulldog?
Like 10 out of 10. It's full.
I like that. And I guess my last question, why number 9?
I just always wore it since like 6U. Always had number 9, so we gonna stick with it.
Cool. Anything else for me?
Nah, that's it.
Solid.